This is a foul nowadays, and pretty much every tournament you go to, big and small, all over the place. And do you know why? Hi guys, I'm gonna take a break from stirring the pot roast, misinformed YouTube posers. There's two key shots in this video, and one I did right and one I did wrong. Keep your eye out for these and let's see if you can find them. And we'll go over them and analyze them after the rack is done. 98% of the input on the last video is very positive. 2% anywhere between downright trolling to just people telling me that I'm a poo-poo head. You can't troll me. I've been around since they shot MLK's dream. And I'm here to make life a little bit easier for the people who have the guts to have their own dream. And being a career YouTuber is not my dream. And by the way, Mark Wilson never told anyone to miss aim and load up on the English to compensate for your bad stroke. So whoever said that, you should go back and read the book again, and this time try to understand what the man was talking about.
Okay, dude, that's enough.
We have a lot of new friends joining us, and if you veteran JD subscribers would help me welcome them a little bit, just make them feel a bit more comfortable in a new place, I would really appreciate it. I kind of wish I had set up this bank to get on the 6, but the 5 goes by the 6, so that's not what I was doing. I just shot the 4 ball wrong. The question came down to, can I hold the cue ball on the 6, and I wound up bumping the 7 anyway. And this shot was in the series, and it was one of the key shots of 9 ball. And I don't want to take a chance of crossing the line or coming up short of the shot line on the 9 ball. So I shot it to have a much bigger margin of error. Back up table to shoot the 9. Now here's the foul. The cue ball's still rolling and I'm throwing balls out on the table. You're not allowed to do that anymore. You have to wait until all balls stop rolling before you chuck the balls on the table. Don't forget that. It's easy to forget, but try to make a habit of it. The 4 ball shot is all wrong because the way I shot it automatically reduces the margin of error and calls for more perfection. In fact, pinpoint perfection if I wanted to do it correctly. Let's look at the graphic and find the straight in shot line on the 5 ball. Not that I want to be straight in, but with the way I shot it, it demands that I get perfect and straight in on the 5 ball. Anything more, if I come up short of this 5 ball, I'm going to be in big trouble because there's no margin of error. If I go a little bit long, I'm going to be in even worse trouble. And I'm taking a chance of scratching. And it's not that I don't know this, I do. It's just that I'm not thinking. It's just a mental lapse, and because I'm human and we all make mistakes, and this was one of my mistakes in this rack. So doing it this way, this is my margin of error. And what I have to do is put a little bit of left-hand English, and I'm talking about maybe not even a half of a tip of left-hand English on this ball, and re-aim it and re-stroke it to compensate for both deflection and the length of the shot. So I asked James Lewis what he would do, and you know what he said? He said I wouldn't get there on the 4 ball, and then he walked away. Anyway, we can grade greatly open up this tiny margin of error to this big, huge margin of error just by putting a tiny bit of left on the cue ball, and now you're good to continue your run out. So what we had is this, and now we have this. So the clockwise spin from the left hand English is taking this angle and grabbing the rail and widening the angle to this. And now you not only can play good pool, you can also breathe, and pool's always a lot more fun when you can breathe. English is only for gaining position, and it's very, very rare to have a shot that you can't make without English. It's not for making balls, it's for gaining position. Unless, of course, you're a trick shot artist. And if that's the case, you're at the wrong channel. The other key shot is from the 7 to the 9. The 8 ball went earlier in the rack. I think it went on the break. And if we look at the shot lines, we can easily see that if we come up a little bit short of the line, we're going to be in big trouble. If we go a little bit long, we're going to be even in bigger trouble. And that fact leaves this as our margin of error. Let's take a look at the first line coming off the object ball, and we can increase this angle by putting just a hair of bottom on the cue ball. And now let's just put a hair of running English, which in this case would be a little bit of right hand English, so together it's a little bit of bottom right. And the spin is not to make the 7 ball. The spin is because we're going longer and we need a little bit of help going back up table. And let's look at the rest of the lines coming off the rails, and we get this. Now this is your margin of error to shoot the 9 ball in the side, and it's much, much bigger. So we went from this margin of error to this margin of error. Now, I don't recommend moving the cue ball this much. This is an exception because we're shooting at the 7 and trying to get on the money ball. There's no balls in our way, and there's no risk of scratching. And this is just one example of how the great players have learned over the years to keep the game simple. And this is also why it looks simple when they play it. This is what they know that most of you don't, and this is not a secret. They didn't meet at Starbucks and decide to keep this from the rest of the world. It's a product of sticking with pool for years and years, when I'm sure they've all wanted to quit at certain points of their lives. And suddenly they realize, hey, this doesn't have to be so hard. We can do this instead of this, and this instead of this. Playing into the line is also a vital thing that they know and you might not know. My job is to bring it here and share it with the rest of you guys.
You see them struggle.